And in June, I'm like, because, Dallas melted my face off. And so when we came here, I was like, Texas is nowhere near. Like, here's the real truth. I don't want to ever even visit Texas again. I don't need to go back to Magnolia. I don't have to do any of that again.
Go.
You're welcome. I'm done. I don't have to do it ever again. Yep.
I felt it. I felt an instant more of a connection than ever before right there.
Hello and welcome to the 20th episode of Little Did I Know. I am your host, Stephanie Parks.
And I am your other host, Shauna Zolman-Mahaley. Little Did I Know is a place where two friends share our journeys through life, the good and the bad, while never losing our laughter.
If you want to hear more episodes, you can find us at stephandshauna.com, on Facebook and Instagram, or any other place. Just Google Little Did I Know and you're going to find us. Okay, so we are on our 20th episode.
Yes.
So proud of us. This is so fantastic. And so for 20 episodes, you know what we've done when we started off? Fun fact.
Oh, yes, we
have. Fun fact. So this fun fact, it just is what it is. Okay. So if anybody wants to write a letter, direct it to me. It's totally fine. Whatever. But so because we are getting ready to celebrate summer solstice, the first day of official summer, although you have had summer weather in your area.
Summer weather has been here. And when I hear summer solstice, I immediately think of our naked parade in Seattle. I repeat, naked
Don't make me
bicycle parade.
What I'm getting ready to share with you, they actually might be like the bomb pop popsicles that go together.
Oh, man. Okay. Oh, please continue.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So Ben and Jerry has announced that they are making CBD ice cream and it's coming to you soon.
And that is actually a very good marketing move on their part. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Where is your next step, Ben and Jerry? CBD ice cream. Like they are jumping on it. CBD is now in your skincare. CBD is in your dog food. Like there's all kinds of things. So why not put it in ice cream? Like those are two really great things combined. So it says that Ben and Jerry's is jumping on the CBD train. The Vermont-based dessert company announced on Thursday that CBD ice cream is hopefully coming to a freezer near you soon.
Now, is it only in states that's legalized?
And, CBD is legal everywhere.
Okay.
So, I am really looking forward to it at the Kansas City Hy-Vee.
You're just going to be lounging on your couch, unable to move. Hey, Tom, can you please put some more in my mouth?
I know. I'll be like, we're almost out. So anyways, just a little fun fact for you that Ben and Jerry's, which if you were to think of anybody jumping into CBD and ice cream, because they like to keep it groovy is their tagline, Ben and Jerry would be the first to be the CBD ice cream.
Phenomenal. Well done. Good job, Ben and Jerry. I feel like that's really going to be a hit that takes off fast.
I do. Emphasis on hit. I don't know. That's what she said. Okay.
Okay. Oh man, so good. So this is our third phase as we smoothly transition into the meat, like professionals that we are.
That's right.
20 episodes in. Phase 3 of our Passions series. So where we started with was phase 1 being discovery.
Yep.
And that's like, who am I? What do I want? What do I like? The discovery of what even is something that you're passionate about.
And we talked about that came from where our life shifted and we had to, there was no other way. We had to take a look internally and say what we knew life was before had definitely changed. So where were we going to go with that? So our discovery came because of a life moment.
Right. And that's kind of where we're wanting to stay with this too, because it's not just the initial passions of your life as a kid, as a child, as you're growing up and you have these desires in your heart that you want to dream big. These are round 2.
Right. Yeah.
Beyond 30, beyond whatever type of life transitions, right?
Exactly.
So phase 2 then is development. So this is kind of like the what piece. So we're trying to figure out tangibly what it is, And then this phase 3 is design. We've kind of talked a little bit about all of them in all the other 2 episodes a little bit, right? But this phase 3 design is literally the action piece. It's literally, okay, we've already developed it. We've already know what exactly it is we want to go after. So now it's the activation piece of it. So like, let's go get it. And what that go get looks like.
And wouldn't you say in development also, it's kind of like figuring some things out about like, I don't want to do that. We talked about that a lot, about like when you set out some things of like, I cannot be in an office 9 to 5. So there's things in there where you're like, I know what I don't want. Like that's as much as discovery, as much of how am I made? What are my dreams? What are these passions and gifts that I have in me? And how can I use those? Like the Uber driver, when I was in Columbia with Tucker, where he was like, I want to have this freedom of my life. And it doesn't have to stay within this generational construction of what a job and a career needs to look like.
Right. Yes.
Yep.
And the common mistake, and I do this a lot, so definitely guilty on this. The common mistake is putting this phase 3 first.
Yeah.
Because I'm such a go-getter. I just want to get things done, and I want to see progress, and I want to see success and change.
And you're excited.
And I'm excited. Yeah. I think maybe that's probably the first. I'm easily excitable. And so it's just like, bah, shiny lights, let's go after it. Yeah. But I don't have any of the design or the development, like the actual work behind it.
Exactly.
I don't have that in place. So that it brings sustainability. If you do the work ahead of time, it brings sustainability, right?
Kind of like that old saying about when you put a seed in the ground, the seed has to die first, and then, it spreads its roots, and then we see it, right?
So
I mean, there's some things under the soil that has to happen first before we get a really great fruitful tree, So I've been told.
I'm looking outside at these trees and I get it. Okay, good. That's a great example.
You're welcome.
Great example. The other caveat I want to make sure that we put back in here is like, this is for people who want to pursue passions. This isn't for people who are like, yeah, okay, but no, I'm comfortable in my uncomfortability. I'm comfortable being a victim. I'm comfortable being broken. I'm comfortable being... I'm more comfortable being broke than I am wanting to be uncomfortable.
Like staying in the cycle of... Now, I will tell you, I follow this really cool person on... Actually, because she found us... on podcast. So that's how we've now mutually follow each other.
Hello, let's give her a shout out.
The divorce lawyer in New York City.
Boom.
Yes, I know. She's fantastic and a total badass. And I really wish I would have had her in my first and second court appearances with my ex-husband because ball buster is all I can say. But she just said this, had this quote, and it said that people will start and try. And she was talking about, areas of like, if you're in the marriage, remarriage, divorce, that's what she was talking about. And then she grew it into life. But she said people will start and stop and restart 7 times before they actually make that real life change. So if it's a behavior, if it's an exercise, if it is a toxic relationship, if it's a career change, big decisions, she said the majority of people start and stop 7 times. And she said some people do not. But she said on average, and that's the 7 times. So it's okay if you've put your foot in the water and you've pulled yourself back and you're like, I don't know, it just seems overwhelming. If it's still in your heart, keep after it. It doesn't mean like that very first time, if all of the pieces didn't work together, maybe one of them did. So keep after that, pursuing your passions, pursuing your dreams, and just know that like WD-40 is called WD-40 because it took 40 times for them to figure out the formulation.
Wow.
That's what it's there for.
Look at you.
Fun fact again. I know. Sometimes I've got these random files that just pop up. I know.
Another thing I want to make sure that it's mentioned is pursuing your passions, doing something that you love to do, being a part of something that you love to do, makes life better, makes it easier, yes. But there's a very specific purpose as to why this is important. Because like every single one of us are designed very uniquely Like everybody has your own specific gift. Everybody has your own specific talent. Everybody genuinely has your own purpose in this life. So like if you're not fulfilling that purpose, then it's not just what you have something to say.
I do.
You're cracking up.
I know. I'm just witty. I don't know. Maybe because I had 2 cups of coffee. I don't know. But it is you put the U in unique.
Oh my gosh.
I had to say it because if not, it was just I couldn't hear anything else you were saying. You can't spell unique without you.
It's like the text you. It's not really spelled you.
I know. I had to say it. If not, I would have been.
Thank you.
I don't know.
And I couldn't have said anything because your face just gave it all away. I completely lost my train of thought.
I'm so sorry.
You're here for a specific reason, so fill it, would you?
We're not here to waste space. Find what you're created for, right?
Yes.
There's only a space for you on this planet. It's yours. My gosh, I could do so many trite little things right now that would make me want to gag when I go back and re-listen to this. I'll be like, oh my gosh, did you just get back from VBS? Like, what's your problem? Check yourself, man. Anyway.
Ooh, let's round it out. There we go. So we're on it this morning. This is good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So as we transition and progress maybe a little bit out of your VBS-isms, let's move to some of our own action steps. So this is an example of what it looked like for us, because I'm sure that everybody knows what it means to like, let's get on the horse and let's go. Let's get after it.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's easier to learn for yourself by listening to other people's examples. So this is why we want to kind of play it out of how it looked like how it is looking like for us, because again, we're still in the same spot. So the first one, I want you to lead off for us. What did you do right? What in taking those action steps, because like you said, it's probably 7 times on average. What are some of the things that you did right through this process?
So one of the things that I did right, and again, because life just kind of, I was at a crossroads, right? So I went to school. I had thought about it. I had researched it. Like my 7 times was probably like getting information and then not doing it, or, and I just kind of gradually stepped into it. And one day in the middle of the week, I made an appointment and I went and talked to the school. I talked about financial aid, all of these things. And it does not make sense for a woman who just turned 40 to go to school in the middle of a divorce. Because really, what really made sense, again, in this generational construct of what that needs to look like, is you find any damn job that you can find and you work your butt off and you figure it out. And I knew enough that I did not want to have this next part of my life just be meaningless and just be, robotic. And so I went to school.
Yeah,
that's what I did.
And you're right. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
And it's hard to even like have the wherewithal to look ahead, because like you said, like you need something to pay the bills now and to get yourself through this now. But like to know what you really wanted to do and have the wherewithal to just have a year or two where you're just like, this is what it's going to take. So I got to do it and figure it out after that. So, I mean, kudos to you, but that's very difficult, I think, too, to really navigate through and to pinpoint like, I got to go to school during this time. I wouldn't have done that.
It was scary. And I mean, just so many things. It did not make sense. Honestly, the only thing was that I heard enough of a whisper from God to say, trust me, I got you. We're going to do this. Kind of like how you had said before, like there were some definite things where you heard, even when things got really rough, like you go back and you go, but I heard God say this, so I'm going to keep going, even though it is hard as heck at this moment. And that's kind of where I was. I was like, again, and like I even just met with a girl that I went to school with the other day, and we were talking about it, and she said, do you remember this? And I said, I honestly, there are some things, because life was so crazy, I don't remember. But I remember getting my kids to bed and I would practice like massage techniques on their face. And like, that's how I practiced.
Yeah.
And then they would go to sleep and I would study. And I remember waking up at like 2:00 in the morning with my face in my notes because I just literally fell asleep studying.
Yeah.
But that's just kind of what we did. And so the thing that I did right for knowing what I knew my next chapter of my life to look like to pay the bills, to make a life, was I had to go to school.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good.
Okay. So what about you?
Yeah. What I did right, to kind of backtrack a little bit. So I knew once I was done playing ball, I prayed very specifically, like, give me something I'm passionate about far greater than I ever was for basketball, which is hard because, like, again, I'm a very easily excitable, very passionate person. And that's the only thing I did my entire life. And so God really gave that sports ministry element to me for whatever reason, like combining my two passions of sport and relationship with Jesus. Like that's what I was passionate about, not necessarily any specific organization. I just wanted to share that with people. Yeah. And so, the transition that I'm talking about is more so after that phase. So like a year ago when I stepped out of sports ministry, not really knowing, I don't have anything that he's calling me to, but I knew that it was closed. My time in sports ministry, there was a closure and there was ending in that, which is great.
Yeah.
So what I did right, I think, in pursuing out of that is one, just like you said, it doesn't make sense as to why this voice is what I'm hearing, but I'm just going to obey it. And step out of it, which was the right choice because I wasn't passionate about it anymore.
Yeah.
The day in and day out stuff that I needed to do, not the faith element. I just want to make sure that's out there.
Yeah, right.
But I think the things that I did right was not trying to fill the void with something that just to keep busy. Like I was still trying to pursue like business wise. I was trying to pursue a job again to pay the bills. I was I think I mentioned before of meeting with people who I knew like had their own companies. So like, even if I didn't like the job title or have anything to do with it, they knew me as a person. So I wanted to go and interview just to see like what would fit. So like that type of stuff, putting myself out there, not being afraid to try something new, even though I wasn't, I was probably pretty sure I wasn't going to like it. I at least put myself out there. So, and I found out what I didn't want to do. So that was probably the thing I did right. Is I still haven't landed anywhere necessarily. Again, like I'm kind of still in this weird position of the unknown and unclear and uncertainty, but it's just a season. So I would say that's one thing I did right, was just I wasn't afraid to put myself out there.
More often than not, it's not, well, you know what? I decided, I heard God, I moved, and then tra-la-la, here we are. That's really not how that goes. That's like 0.5% of how that happens. It really is. Oh, yeah. Here's what I did right. I kept after it. I'm still in it. The season is longer than what I thought. Like we've talked about that a long time. Mm-hmm. Like buckle up for it just to not be on your own timetable. Yeah. So we don't want to give any false pretense of like, well, and then you're still in it. Mm-hmm. You're still pursuing it. It's still happening. And day by day, you're getting, insight and, where you need to go and all of those kind of things. So I think that's brilliant to say that. And I think it's honest.
And I know that it's, again, back to the season thing. And I mentioned this before too, that sometimes like I get so caught up oftentimes in worldly success, in the definition of worldly success. And success to me right now is being kind of in a behind the scenes, in a slower paced, I don't have an income coming in for me personally type season, like a big one. And that, to me, when I say that to people, when they ask, what are you doing? Like, what do you do for a living? Like, that's hard for me to answer because I don't have a huge thing to say, right? And that's pride, and that's hard, but that's just the season I'm in, and that's not the season for my husband, and that's not the season for us as a marital relationship. But
well, and I think again we talked about this too, but when we both, so another thing that I did right too, what I would say was I knew that I this last season of my life was I needed a sabbatical. I needed a pause. I needed that, which allowed us, you and I, to collaborate, put our dreams together, things that we had talked and laughed about for years now, allowed us that space to really lay down. And then here we are 20 episodes in,
Look at us.
so look at us, Popcast, we're coming for you. Um, like that's just where we are. So, I mean, there's great things that happen in pauses and in the waits and all of those kind of things. Is it frustrating? Because I think everybody's ready for this whole, like bloom session of their life, but you got to put the work in too.
For sure. Yeah. Well, with all that glit and glitter being said, what'd you do wrong?
Oh, wow.
Where did you tank?
Where shall we start? I was a single mom. I was in my 40s, starting in a, not necessarily a new career because I'd been in this industry, but like this specified place of my life. I was scared every day of failing, of not being able to make my bills, of what the backlash of people near and far would say. I told you, we knew it, of course. And really, people were waiting for me to fail. Mm-hmm. Like that was it. People love to watch a train wreck, and I did not want to be the train wreck. And so what I did wrong was I just was at 100 all day, every day. And where in my position now that I've been able to talk with solo professionals and ask them, like, how did your business start and blah, blah, blah. And just the other day, because I've had a lot of windshield time again, I was like, I wish I would have had some business coaching, because I think I could have crafted some things differently at the beginning of my profession. And so I just went all in. I went to the first opportunity, the best opportunity. And then I was like, how do I grow from here? I wish I would have had some coaching and some mentorship that I could have done, maybe crafted some things a little different. All the while knowing, as I'm saying this, I also have heard God say, your resume is your resume, and I gave that to you, and I have put you in front of people who have needed your resume to be your resume. So that's where that worked. But I think I could have, I don't think that was the only lane I could have ran in, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm the same in that. There's, I can always say, like, I wish I would have done more, experienced more, traveled more. But in this specific process of pursuing after passions differently, again, I think I pursue after things and try to create things that aren't there, just because I'm relentless and refuse to stop when I'm told no. So it's like, if I'm told no, or if there's opposition, that almost to me says, okay, keep pushing because this is actually good. So I think in the past, I've wasted time, energy and effort, and I wouldn't say burn bridges with people, but probably caused unnecessary conflict with people when I've tried to develop things that weren't there, or that isn't a bad thing, but I didn't, again, this is going back to, I went to phase 3 instead of pursuing 1 and 2 first. So I just tried to go all out and develop roles in organizations that weren't there that I could fill, and I could do it well, but I didn't have the sustainability to back it up, and I didn't have the help to back it up. So then, in essence, it actually was worse off, because now I'm lost. I look like a fizzled out wash up to other people, and that gets my people pleasing thing going. So there's a lot of things that I think for me, I would just be more patient on and be sustainable and developed before I pursue after something. So if I would have listened to this beforehand, maybe I would have understood that.
So dear future self.
Dear future self.
Right?
Yes, absolutely. And it's not a bad thing, I get. But that would be definitely, something I did wrong.
Well, and so then so anybody who's going, oh my gosh, that's what I did wrong, whatever. Of course you did. So take it, and then where are you going to learn from it? And I think the very best thing in all of it is you are self-aware.
Which is 90% of the issue.
Absolutely. And so that is what a gift to give to yourself, what a gift to give to other people of like, I've got it. I understand where I, didn't do this right. And it's really, I know I said it earlier and I was joking about it, but it really is progression, not perfection. Yes. That's exactly what it is. So
what's something that you learned about yourself then? What's this last question for you?
Is that I have the uncanny ability to can't stop, won't stop, and to make things happen. Like the other day I was walking in this town and I just told myself, I was like, I'm really, so, I've been in therapy, all of these kind of things. So I've been much gentler to my young self inside, this little girl who's been hurting and all of this therapy mumbo jumbo. But it just hit me that I actually made some really brave choices for myself and some really big decisions that, again, all the naysayers and all of those people who were waiting for me to fail. And I was like, I did that. That really was very brave. And so I have that. I found a brave step about me. Okay. But in this can't stop, won't stop situation is so the brave step is my positive.
Okay.
Like I really am much braver than I ever gave myself credit for. I'm much braver and honoring to that little girl who was wounded and scared and always reacted with caution.
Yeah.
I'm braver. So that's my positive. So you're going to have to edit all that other crap. But my negative, what I found out about myself, and I'm really working on it, is I have this can't stop, won't stop, let's get it done. Again, what was our first 5 minutes of this conversation about, of all of this madness that I have to have happen within 2 weeks, right?
Yep.
And work and all of this. And then what happens, I will go to a major burnout.
Yep.
I will be no use to anybody because I get in this very manic place of, if it's not done, it's not getting done. And I mean, we are on a deadline now. Like there's some legitimate deadlines that have to happen. But in my own life of like, I go like, can't stop, won't stop, got to keep going. And then what happens is I burn out. Yeah. And I don't like that about me. And so I am really learning, hoping that sabbatical kind of has put a place in there. Tom is very good at going like, babe, like he said today, can we just have fun with it? And I'm like, I want to.
Yeah.
But right now I am so mean, and so that's me. So my positive is I found this bravery. I did.
Good.
My negative is I can burn out like a candle.
But in all, like there's still, it sounds like you still have more self-awareness in that. Like even if you can't necessarily stop it right now, or you aren't necessarily doing something to fix it, so to speak, but you still have self-awareness that, okay, this is how I operate. Oh no, beware. Beware for burnout.
But really also part of it is I have a house full of people helping me today. I did stop to get this podcast done because there are other things. Like it doesn't have to be so single focused, like a train barreling down. Like it doesn't have to be like, it really doesn't.
Yeah.
And so that is my self-aware. Now, so whatever. There we go.
That's good.
There we go.
The self-awareness piece for me is probably something I learned most about myself too, is just realizing that is the way that I operate. I go to phase 3 as opposed to 1 and 2 first. I mentioned it, but that's probably the thing I learned most about myself. But also, I would say I talked to my coach, Pat Summit, her mentor, and I interviewed her as well on a different podcast that I'm doing. And she said one thing that Coach was very, very deliberate about. And she said she always strove to make you uncomfortable, because it's in the uncomfortability in which you grow. And so the point at which you get comfortable with the uncomfortability is when you start to thrive. And when I hear, it's one of those, it could be an aha moment, it could be rocket science, or it could just be, it's one of those things that you've heard 1,000 times, but it just meant something different now.
Yeah.
I'm in that stage of being uncomfortable because there's a lot of unknowns still, and it's still not like a tangible season where I'm thriving and I'm doing what I want to do. But being uncomfortable and being comfortable in that, that's what I'm trying to get to. And I think that's where I'm at. And that's my focus. So I think something I'm learning about myself is taking that and applying it to my life right now.
Good. Oh, that's really good. I love it that there's so much of your coach that just still speaks new life into you.
Gosh, I know.
She's like such a cool relationship that, I mean, how long has it been since you played under her? How many years? Not aging you at all, but
it is 13. It's been 13 years.
Wow. Yeah. Tatum was a baby. That's bananas.
Yeah, 13 years ago. And it's almost like now I'm realizing more. And it happens, right? It happens in retrospect. But I'm learning almost more as I'm talking more about it, and I'm listening to more things about it, and just interacting with other people that have also been coached or influenced by her. Like, it's just like, oh man, that's what it meant, or oh man, yeah, I do operate this way, and that's why. Or it's just crazy to have an influential person like that. And I also realized too, that's why I'm not led well by other people.
Oh, well, yeah, because you were led by one of the best.
When I have that, and then it also makes me realize, oh, I am a turd to people who are trying to lead me, because I have such high expectations. Yeah. And which is also not fair. So I'm also like, okay, oops, sorry. But then again, it makes sense.
Self-aware. One of the most profound things that I heard was this family that I only know through the adoption community. So not, like, they would not say like, oh my gosh, Stephanie Parks is a friend of ours. I am, but it's okay. You know what I mean? So they had gone through a terrible, terrible tragedy, and in that wrote this piece, and they said, we are so up close to this picture. We cannot see anything else. We see very much what's right smack in front of our face. And what we know to be is that there is a whole lot of more vision and clarity that we will see when we step a little bit farther back from that. And so when you were saying that, I was thinking, like, you were so up close, like that was your daily life. Like you were so up close. So some things, like now at 13 years, and you have a little bit of different, like it sits in you different. It touches your heart differently because you have this broader thing. Like you were on the court. That was what you had, and you had to win games. Period. And so now that you have this other part of where she's still speaking that life into you, I think
and you forget most of the bad stuff. So it's more helpful.
I almost said something and I'm not going to say it yet, but yes, I'm going to tell you when we finish this. Again, the wittiness that I have rolling around in my mouth today is ridiculous.
This is my favorite version of you. Okay. Well, that is the end of our Passions series. I hope that you gained something out of that. I mean, we hope that there's something or somebody out there that's listening. It's like, okay, at least that maybe puts some words or maybe a different perspective to what I'm feeling or what I'm going through or what I'm thinking. So hopefully this is helpful to some extent of even knowing that there are 3 different phases to go through, and then how that looks for you in your own life. So
absolutely. Good job, Beep.
Good job. High five. So also with that being said, this is our final episode of
and
this
you believe
season.
it.
The first 20 episodes is going to be the first season for Little Did I Know. And we're going to take a pause and regain ourselves and refocus for season 2 of what we're going to bring out. So we wanted that to be said at this point in the episode so you don't miss it after our wonderful likes or wins and losses.
Right. Because, and we are ending on such a high note.
Yeah.
Again, our first season has been learning it, figuring it out, sound, audio, content, all of those kind of things. And we have really grown. And we're kind of in this we're going to just do a little summer siesta because we have some big things going on in our life that we're just going to really make sure that all of those things are functioning well and then come back in and give you the best of us.
Yes. So stay posted on our social media platforms because we will keep communicating.
Absolutely. We are not going to be silent. We're just going to not be on a weekly recording schedule right now. Because again, like I said, we have some really big life things happening. And so I think no other way to step in, but tell me, where are you winning and where are you losing, ma'am?
Okay, let me tell you where I'm winning.
Cannot wait.
This is amazing to me.
Okay.
For all of you sticky fingers out there, I want you to keep the F off my bike because I just got a new one and I think I just named it Sphinx.
I thought you said Rogue. No, that's me. Sorry, that's me.
Oh, huge win for me. Yes, I and my husband went the other day and got me a new bike. And I went for a ride yesterday and it just makes me so very happy. So very happy. So definite win on gaining a bike.
Well, and it is summertime in Seattle. What should you be doing other than riding a bike?
Everything should be outside. Everything.
I agree.
So boom, boom. Loss would be not for me personally, but I really got invested into this year's NBA Finals, and I mean, huge loss for KD and for Klay Thompson. I mean, I just get so like sick feeling inside when players go down with injuries because I can just start feeling it in my own body, first of all. But the magnitude... Did
you ever have an Achilles injury?
Never had the Achilles.
You didn't?
No,
okay.
I strained, but never tore. But, man, just seeing, like, the heart that those guys went out with, and then...
I know.
And just, you always think of, like... And I'm a fan of Golden State. I'm not this diehard. Like, I'm totally a bandwagoner, but...
Me too.
It's just kind of like... If they didn't get injured, I feel like this finals had an asterisk by it. Because if they didn't get injured, like, there's no way anybody else would have won. So, I don't know. My loss, I'm going to be vicariously through Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson.
So, I shared this earlier on a podcast, but how much I am a finals mega fan.
And I actually really enjoy that about you.
Yeah. And, you know... Tom had a little scuttle with the Canadian border people in March. And so we are right at this minute are not fans of Canada. So I can't even tell you, I wasn't even a neutral party. I was like, Golden State has to win. I love Steph Curry. Like, I love the family. I love everything. I will tell you, I didn't think a calf injury was a thing. I was like, I don't know. I think you can push through a calf injury. An Achilles, wow. Like, I am so sad. And I just think he's a good guy. But, I was in it to win it.
Yeah. It's too bad. So, your turn, though. Tell me where you're winning and losing.
Well, thank you for asking.
That's a good question.
That's a good question. I am winning. We are moving.
Yes.
I know.
This could actually be both winning and losing.
It actually is my wins and my losses.
Okay, there you go.
But I think that it goes, okay, so remarriage advice, okay? It takes you a real hot minute to figure out how your lives are going to blend together. And like, what are some things that you absolutely have to have in your life, and what are some things that that are negotiable? And this house that we just jumped into right before, okay, so after the first marriage, we moved in together before the big wedding. Mm-hmm. So, all of those things are good for all my Southern Baptist friends. But
check and check.
Check. And, but there were some things here in the house that we just couldn't make work. And so, super excited. We're all very excited to get to this new house. And, so super excited, feel like an amazing sense of generosity has just been poured on us. And I'm super happy about it. But however, we're moving, and, I have super, super amazing, great friends who have stepped up and are helping me, because if not, I would probably have put myself in a loony bin.
Rightly so.
Yeah. I know.
I hate moving. It's the worst.
So the next time, and again, I'm going to state this and put it into the universe, putting it into the WWW World Wide Web. Like, this is a statement that it can go on my Wikipedia page. However, it needs to happen. I will not move again until I move to Seattle in 5 years.
Okay. I just can't wait to hold you to that.
No, do. I like 100% do. Okay. Do. Yeah. Because by then our podcast media company will be in full effect and it's only going to make sense. It's gonna work. Yeah. So what we are known for, and
Rounding
when
it
we
out.
come back into season 2, one of the goals that I want is I want to have a little bit of merch. I want to have maybe a couple swag coffee mugs, shirts, or something that have like our little sayings on it, because they are catching on and I love it, and it just makes me as happy as can be. So going out, how we started, Shauna, what is your little did I know?
My little did I know, I've just been blown away at my family from my past family vacation that we just recently got back on. For everything that went wrong the first time, everything was restored and given back this last round. And just such a sweet, sweet time. So it's not like a massive surprise because I genuinely love my family. But I'm just going to say little did I know, because I didn't know the magnitude of the surprises and the blessings and everything that happened while we were there together. So my little did I know is a very high note with the state of affairs in my family and our family vacation. That's it.
Okay. I love it. I love it. To be continued.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
How about you, Steph?
I love it.
Lay it out for us and send us off on a good note.
I want to ask you one question. Did you see wild horses?
Oh, every day.
Oh my gosh.
Every day. Yeah. They're amazing. There was one, the first time we saw them, actually, we were out on the beach. We were putting up our tent. We were just kind of all hanging out, and they literally walked right up. It was the one, and they make you keep distance. I mean, they as in like the wardens. They want you to keep your distance, but the horses kept coming closer to us. And the one for me got, I would say, at least 5 feet.
No way.
Yeah, it got 5 feet away, and then it took a dump.
Well,
right by our tent, it just took a big old dump.
Really?
Yeah, but they're not skittish at all. They just walk right along, walk right up to you.
Is it kind of like in the Midwest, like we have deer in our front yard all the time. So is it kind of like that? Yeah. I don't want to be ignorant, but I was being serious.
It really is. And they could be 1 or 2, or it could be, I think we saw as many of like 13 maybe at one time.
No way.
Together. Yeah, it was really beautiful.
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, so my little did I know is, little did I know how amazing my friends are. I've said it before, but they are the champions of my past couple weeks have just been really crazy with work, crazy with travel, trying to learn all of the new things. Yeah. And, so friends, I love you. You're good. You're awesome. However, little did I know this has been fantastic. Chelsea Handler has a new podcast out and a new book. She has gone through therapy. So that's where I kind of found her. It is now, edit to add, it's very filled with language. So if language is a thing for you, don't listen to it. If you prefer that kind of language, you're going to like her. But it talks about this journey through therapy. But I little did I know that I would really like Chelsea Handler. And I think she and I would be really good friends. I really do. I think she's the rich Jewish version of me, honestly. I really do. I really do.
Perfect. I think I'm going to go check that out.
So her book is, I'm listening to it on Audible, and it is Life Will Be the Death of Me, ... and you. Her podcast is Life Will Be the Death of Me. And then she's doing this tour instead of stand-up comedy, which is what she's known for. Yeah. She's doing a sit-down tour, and she brings in like guests to have her interviewed. So you need to listen to the one with her best friend. Her best friend's name is Mary, and then the one with Connie Britton, and she tells a story of traveling first class with her dog Chunk. The very best. So little did I know, my friends are amazing. And I like Chelsea Handler.
Boom. Well done, my friend.
I forgot about that one. Okay. Well, thank you for the last 20 weeks of podcasting. It has been so fun to just, you guys want to hear our voice and the feedback that we have. And so we just want to thank you. Be listening. We're going to pop up through the summer and then we're going to just get right back on season dos.
Yeah.
I am Stephanie Parks. You can find me at Facebook and Instagram at Steph K. Parks.
And I'm Shauna Zolman Haley. You can find me there, Facebook, Instagram as well. Have a great summer. Hope you enjoyed season 1, but only to be outdone by season 2 coming up to theaters near you.
That's right. And pretty soon a stage. So just you wait for us. Okay, everybody, enjoy your summer. Wear your SPF and have a fun drink on me.
Oh, be careful.